whether it's process improvement, right? Basically, what is that Six Sigma is doing? Six Sigma improves the process. All rest is taken care. You improve your process, result will improve, isn't it? And many people simply think Six Sigma is applicable only for manufacturing industry. If you can, if you can define everything you are doing as a process, that means you know what are you doing. I'm not saying that. Famous quality guru Edward Deming, right? He says, if you can't describe what are you doing as a process, then you really do not know about, know adequately about what are you doing, isn't it? So everything, any organization is simply a collection of n number of processes. Processes are nothing but number of steps, number of activities. For each and every step, you have input, you have output, and inputs are processed under certain conditions. The conditions are called what? Process parameters. Inputs, process parameters, and set of activities produces your output. You can apply this philosophy in all industry, not only manufacturing, and also in non-manufacturing, like administrative business process. You are an accounts officer, you are an auditor, you are a lawyer, you are a police inspector, or you are a quality engineer. All of you can use Lean and Six Sigma, right? So Six Sigma is applicable, is basically a process improvement approach, whether it is operational process or it is a transactional process. Like you are a manager in a bank, you want to improve the banking transactions. You can see, all of you can see a drastic improvement the way the banking transactions are happening today, isn't it? These are all result of Lean and Six Sigma approaches, right? So Lean Six Sigma is a philosophy. You can apply it everywhere. No limitation. If you feel Six Sigma has got a limitation, it is applicable only to manufacturing, you are not a white belt at all, right? So number two, the next point is importance of process improvement. Imagine you are an entrepreneur. You are the top management. You want to hire 100 managers. Why do you want to hire 100 managers? You don't want to get into the challenges. Rather, you will make your managers, solve the challenges and make the company functioning smoothly. And now, will you expect all your 100 managers to focus on producing the results for you? Or you want your all your 100 managers to focus on improving the results? You have been working on results, I know, because you being an entrepreneur, you being a leader in the organization, I know your preferences. You will be focusing more on the results. Will you also expect all your managers to focus on results, or you expect them to focus on the process? Somebody written something. Process owners plays important role. Yes, it is important to define. Very good. So, what is your choice? I'm just expecting an answer from all of you. Would you are you do you think the manager should focus on the results, or the manager should focus on processes? Right? If you expect everybody to work towards the result, you are simply making your organization a people-centric organization. Mr. X is taking care of this result. Mr. X is not available tomorrow. What will happen to your company? Your company will be in deep trouble. So making your organization people-centric is not a great idea. It may sound good in a short term, but in a long term, it will put you in a very difficult situation, right? So try to make your organizations process-centric. Whether I'm doing or you are doing or anyone is doing, the result is same. You should not be too much dependent on any specific individual, and you should not make your organization people-centric, but definitely nothing wrong making your organization process-centric, right? And it is something like you have an orange tree, and your tree is producing oranges, and now you want to change your results. You want to produce apples. Will you change the fruits in your existing tree and try to grow apple in the same tree, or will you think of changing the roots? Obviously, you will think of changing the roots, because then only you can produce apples, isn't it? That means without process improvement, your results cannot change. So process improvement is unavoidable in any organization. So Six Sigma experts are in great demand in every organization. right? The moment you become an expert in Six Sigma, you will see your employment opportunity increasing, by several hundred folds. You will find yourself fitting into any organization in any level, right? And then Six Sigma calls this process-centric approach as y equal to f of x. What is process-centric approach? Mathematically, it is y is equal to f of x. Now, what is y? Y is the result you want to improve. Y is the problem you want to solve. Y is the gap in performance. Mathematically, we call it the dependent variable. Why is it called dependent variable? You want to double your revenue. You want to reduce your rejections. You want to reduce improve your inventory turnover ratio. You want to reduce the cash conversion cycle in the organization. All of them are Y variables. Why do I call them Y variable? Nothing is a quick fix. I have to put a lot of efforts. I want to switch off the light in my room. I can just go there and then switch off. That's an X variable. I can keep it the way I want. But there are certain variables like my revenue, like my market share, like my cash conversion cycle, like my rejections, current rejection level, or my productivity, my DPMO, my PPM. These are all depending on the many other factors. And so these are all Y variables, right? The moment you understand the problem you are trying to solve is a Y variable, then that is an opportunity for Six Sigma. But if it is not a Y variable, it is simply a X variable, that's a quick fix. That's a quick fix. The variable is X variable. The moment you understand it is an X variable, then you really don't have to do a lot of analysis. You just fix it. But when the problem is a Y variable problem, you have to define it, you have to measure, you have to analyze, and then you have to improve, and then you have to control, you have to do a lot of work to impact your Y variable, because your Y variable depends on many other X variables. The X variables are called the independent variables. These are nothing but the process inputs and the process parameters. So you understand the process input and the process parameters. These are nothing but the X variable. Every Y variable will have multiple X variables. At a given point of time, at a given situation, your Y is pulled down. Your Y becomes a problem because few of the X variables have deviated their position. As a result, your Y is pulled down. Those few of the X variables which are deviated from the required level are now becoming critical. So you are going to call them as critical factor. Now, what is your job? You have to pull them back and keep it in the required level. This is called a solution. This is called a solution, isn't it? Some of the X variables are deviated. Pull them back to the required position. That is actually called a solution. Now, how will you pull it back? Now, in which direction they moved, you need to know. Suppose if it has moved downward, then you have to pull it upward. Suppose if it is a moved upward, then you have to pull it downward. So for that, you really have to understand the direction of the deviation. And not only that, the relationship of your X variable with your Y variable is also important. The moment you understand your X variable and Y variable are positively correlated. What do you mean by positively correlated? When I increase my X, my Y will increase. My Y is a revenue. So I want my Y to go up. So I know by increasing X, my Y can go up. So now increasing X becomes my solution. How am I able to offer a solution to a problem? Because I know the relationship between X and Y. I keep on adding sugar in my coffee. The sweetness will improve. So the sugar and the sweetness are positively correlated, isn't it? Sometimes what happens, when I increase my X, my Y will decrease. So this is called a negative correlation. In fact, you can write a mathematical equation, a clear mathematical equation between X and Y if you master a tool called regression. If you can write a clear mathematical equation between X and Y, you can decide the appropriate value for your X to get the targeted value for your Y. Your problem is solved. This is called Six Sigma way of problem solving. All right, we'll talk more about that probably tomorrow during the analysis phase. There are a lot of tools and techniques which will make you clearly understand the critical factor, nothing but the root causes, and not only that, the relationship of your root causes with your y variable, which is the problem you are solving, isn't it? Which is the result you want to impact, and the relationship can also be understood. If the relationship understood, solution automatically evolves. All that you need to do is you must gain the consensus in your organization just to see to that the developed solution is implemented. And now let me tell you a problem. Your problem is now all your products are not doing well in the market. That means your competitors are doing well. What do I mean? Your products are inferior compared to the competitors. That means quality levels are low. Now, what is your requirement? You want to improve the quality of your products that already exist in the market. If you want to improve the quality of your products that already exist in the market, Six Sigma gives you a framework, gives you a methodology called DMAC. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Use this DMAC methodology to improve the quality of products that already exist in the market. Your orange tree already exists. Now you want to grow more oranges or you want to grow better oranges. Now your approach is DMAC. Sometimes what will happen? Your market may be a fast market. Fast market in the sense you are already strong. Already your market share is growing like anything. Now, why do you want? That means your quality levels are already acceptable by your customer. We call it optimum quality level. Optimum quality level is the level where your customers accept it. At the same time, your profit is maximized, isn't it? But if that has already happened, then you don't want to improve the quality further. Rather, you can try to produce apples. So far, you have been producing oranges. Oranges are doing very well. Now, your focus is to produce apples. That means you understood your organization strategy is changed from quality, improving the quality of existing products to new product development. And Six Sigma offers a methodology for that also. That is called DMADV. Define, measure, analyze, design, and validate. That means now you are trying to launch a new product, but with a world-class quality. First launch itself comes with the Six Sigma quality. That's called DMADV approach. It is otherwise known as Design for Six Sigma. Right? Hope all of you understand what's the difference between DMAC and DMADV. And now I have a few questions to all of you. This I have not taught you, but I still expect from all of you. Tell me, what are the 7 QC tools?